Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to you, wherever you may be watching me from today. I want to welcome you to today's episode of Chat with Themmy. My name is Thelma Titi Ahamba. You can call me Themmy. I am your host for Chat with Themmy, where we educate, inspire, and empower, irrespective of the topic we're discussing. All right. I want to welcome you to this episode. Thanks for supporting my entire journey. Thanks for following. Thanks for being in this space. I hope you're steering your life in the right direction. Remember, I am always rooting for you. Today, we get to talk to an amazing lady who's taking time of her day to educate us. She is amazing in her space. Like when I went across her website, I saw this really superhero kind of vibe, and she's just so awesome. She's a gamer. And trust me, I am definitely going to reach out to her for tips on how to start playing games with my kids to connect with them, because she looks like she's a bad gamer. Like she's on top of it because her vibe she gives off, like she just looks so extra. And when I saw her, I was like, okay, I want to talk to this lady. And today we're going to be talking about something very interesting every single time, irrespective of where we are, whether it's academic journey, professional journey, parents journey, um career journey, irrespective of where we are. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and a lot of times there's external pressure from society, from family, from work, from school, from wherever, right? So she's going to be talking to us today because this lady is the CEO of Octane Digital Marketing firm. She's a gamer. She's a mom. She has her own podcast, and her firm is an all-female firm, like global female firm, guys. Women of color, women of non-color, wherever, whatever race, like they're just everywhere. Okay, and that's super cool to just connect with her and learn about her. Today, she's going to tell us how she's doing all the amazing things she's doing. Because when I read about her, I think she's been in business for over a decade now, and like I'm like, okay, how do you do this? Like, how do you stay afloat? How are you successful? How are you continuously making money whilst you're handling your kids, you're handling family, you're handling different things? So, guys, grab a seat. If you need a popcorn, grab that. If you have your favorite snack, sit down and stay put wherever you are. We're gonna be learning some good tips from this amazing human as she drives us through her journey or drives us through her journey. And she's gonna be teaching us how to stay motivated under pressure. Is it school pressure? Is it work pressure? Is it family pressure? Is it relationship pressure? How do you stay motivated and make sure that you're not soaring off your path that you want to get on? Welcome, my guest, the one and only amazing lady from Kentucky. Like, yo, guys, we are global, okay? I'm all the way in Kentucky to the virtually. I'm sitting in Kentucky and enjoying the real nice weather today, all right? So give me a drum roll. You know how we do it. Yes, I got my guest on stage. Welcome, 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 Miss Danielle. Welcome to Chat with Themmy. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Timmy, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Whew. Like just getting to know you and getting to know all the amazing things you do. Like I'm like, okay, I need a breather. Like, woo, that's amazing. That's what they call girl power. And you are just the definition of it. Please do us the honor by introducing yourself.
Sure. I'm Danielle Stinett. I am owner and CEO of Octane Design Studios. That's a 14-year-old digital marketing and branding firm based in the heart of the Bluegrass. It's led by a global team of 7 women across 5 countries. We love the fact that we've been able to harness this really cool energy, worldwide, global energy of supporting women, especially first generation entrepreneur women who are starting their first business. I absolutely love the fact that I'm able to support minorities in this way.
Wow, a 14-year-old. Guys, I'm a learner here, y'all. I'm literally gonna sit at her feet and be learning. Y'all don't expect anything from me in this conversation because we're all learning, okay? We're all this is more like a teacher, mentor, coach kind of client style, right? So I'm gonna be sitting at her feet and just drawing from her wealth of knowledge, all right? So definitely when I came across your website, and I must say I'm very honored that you could take time off your day to like educate me. And the fact that, guys, I'm always the first person to experience these amazing people before they come to y'all. Nobody can take that from me. Y'all have to give that to me, okay? I need to experience them first, all right? I need to experience them first. So, um, just looking at you, the things you do, how much work you have running. I know what it means to work virtually. Sometimes you need extra discipline to be able to be on top of your game, to be able to get, you know, you need some supernatural motivation to be able to maintain your level of motivation throughout the day. Because I tell
Absolutely.
people, working virtually, you have a start time, but that end time, end of your day, like I used to tease my former boss. I'm like, when he tells you by end of day, it's like 12 a.m. in the next morning. Because there's a start time for the morning, but there's no end time because at some point he's gonna be like, "Did you check that thing before we left the office?" I'm like, "Okay, now that's his home hour and stuff like that."
Mhm.
So, can you just with all the things you work around, how do you stay motivated under pressure?
I stay motivated, kind of going back to a lot of my origin story. For many of us, we watch superhero movies like Marvel. We watch things along the lines of, DC movies and comics and things. Everyone has an origin story, and I feel like the way that I get motivated through difficult times is to always remember my origin story, remembering how I started the business. I started from very humble beginnings. 500 square foot, one bedroom apartment. I know many people, many women have done less and done more from that situation. But for me, that was very humble beginnings. I was already with my 2-year-old toddler at the time. I was pregnant with baby on the way. And I was just trying to figure out putting these pieces together. Like, how do I use my passions to not only feed myself and feed my family, but also feed my soul? Society has told me on more than one occasion up until that point that I need to be working in a more corporate situation. I need to be taking care of somebody else's babies to pay my bills. Society has, put those type of thoughts in our head that we're not capable of doing more, or we're not capable of winning on this level. And I literally had to reprogram, reset myself in a lot of areas to figure out how to play better, faster, and harder, so that other people would recognize, one, that I'm legit, and then two, that we're trying to find ways where we can level up the game in regards to branding and identity overall in this industry.
So on a normal day, say for instance, in business and life in general, it's this way. Okay.
Right.
So what do you do on and sometimes it's not like today is good and tomorrow is not so good. Sometimes even in a one day, you have the highs and the lows in just one day.
That's right.
How do you maintain your momentum to say, okay, you leave your house, say your affirmation, it's gonna be a good day, or you leave your bedroom to your home office and be like, it's gonna be a good day, and then you
Mhm.
get in the office, it's like, okay, now this is I'm not sure it's gonna be a good day. Like, what do you do on days that are not so good days?
Absolutely. So on days that are not best days, I have to remember my realm, right? Remember my teammates. And that also gets me through a lot of spurn moments where 1 minute everyone's giving you praise and accolations, and the next hour it's everything went to crap, everything's burning, the couch is burning, what is happening? And in those moments, I have to remind myself, one, that I'm human, and then two, that I am capable of more than this moment, right? I think again about the team. I think about that origin story, all the things that I had to succumb and overcome led me to this point. At this point, that should give me enough gusto, momentum to be like, I can beat this today. I can clear this level today. Maybe I can't clear this level today, but I can work towards a common goal for tomorrow. That's also something that I kind of remind people over and over again is you're not going to build Rome in a day, right? Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes pieces, it takes a team, it takes multiple counterparts in order to build up to the level that you want to build. And that's exactly what I had to do in those 14 years, was kind of put the building blocks and let them stack the cards, as we will, or get to the next level, if you will, on multiple areas, finances, in building the right team members. The team members we started out with are not the team members we have currently right now. So it was really important for us to actually remember that it's okay to fail. It's actually really good to fail, because it's how you learn. If you're always winning all the time, You're never going to know what it's like to come against adversity. And adversity is what makes champions. Adversity is what makes a difference. Adversity is what actually helps us grow more in our talent and the things that we carry, the things that we're passionate about. So I do think in multiple ways, it is a matter of remembering again, kind of the humble beginnings, the steps where you started, so that you know where you want to grow.
That's such an amazing example because a few days ago I spoke about, one was forget motivation and build discipline. And another
Hmm.
one was handling failures and rejection, or, accept failures because is your proof that you took action. If you did not take action, you wouldn't fail nor succeed,
That's
right?
right.
Failure is just your receipts to say, well, I tried, I did this before, it did not work out. Now I took some lessons out of there, even though I did not succeed at it. So that's a great way to put it. So what are some of, because for me, I look at it this way in three parts. Inspiration comes from inside, and sometimes you need something external to inspire what's already inside. That's inspiration.
Yes.
Motivation. Okay, now guys, me, my co-host, okay, you're not gonna see his face. Just so just so we're clear, he's gonna come up on some episodes. Some episodes he's busy, but some episodes he's gonna show up. All right. Just so you guys know, you have two hosts on chat with me,
Yes.
and and how do you call it? With motivation, I look at it as more of an external support, right? So your
Hmm.
friends and family support you, your communities support you by motivating you. But the thing about it is, it's not always gonna be there. And
Correct.
that in those moments where you feel demotivated because something got your motivation down, or it's not even there at all, how do you build discipline to help you to stay on top of your tasks? Are you facing pressure? Are you, are you motivated to do it or not to do it? How do you make sure that you still, in as much as room takes, it doesn't take a day to build room, but then a day they could put just one block. What
Hmm.
gets you that energy to say, okay, in as much as it's raining today, I'm just gonna put one block, I'm just gonna carve a stone, I'm just gonna hit the nail today? How do you keep those little things in checks, knowing that you're working towards the bigger picture?
I think it's constant vision of knowing your end goal. And I think that's also been a motivation for me, and those goals change. Let's also be very true about that. Again, the original goals that I had for Octane was to just survive, was to thrive. Now it's more than that. Now it's I want to help the next 5 women underneath me survive. Now I want to build a community where people can come to me for answers to build their own empires. I want to be able to, create systems and realms for other people so that they can thrive and be successful. So again, your whatever your end goal is, I think that's the motivator to get you across that slump, across that hard level, whatever that difficulty is, whatever that mountain that you feel like you can't climb. Just imagine what it's like on the other side of that. Imagine what that goal could look like for you.
So, I'm a Christian, so I want to give a biblical example. The Bible said, somewhere in the Bible it says, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. What do you do on those days?
Right. um Pray, take a lot of personal, I step away from my desk. I really do. When I get to a point where I feel like that's like I've reached a limit today, I will personally go and step away from my desk. I look at a lot of green space. Like I personally love going outside, being amongst nature, being the outdoors. So I'll go for a walk if I need to. Sometimes I just need to feel the earth on my toes, and I will take off my shoes and I will be grounded in the earth for a little while, just so I can release some internal pressures, maybe some anxiety that I may be feeling, in and around either a project or a deadline, things along those lines. It is okay to leave your fishbowl. And I really encourage plenty of women, especially in this realm, we feel absolutely fixated that we can't leave the space. We can't leave the realm. We can't leave this particular room, this house, this building, because I have XYZ to do. And I really encourage women to really get outside of their fishbowl on a regular basis, not feeling so, I guess, contempt to the area and space to which you feel like you have to stay in. A lot of times it's the times when we walk out of our fishbowl. When we get out of our fishbowl, we do something different outside of our norm, that we're able to create new creative impulses in our brain, new actual experiences for ourselves, opens another element for creativity and innovation. So that's really where my personal tidbits are in regards to people who feel like today I just can't. And that's okay. Maybe you can't. But I guess the next best area would be to what can, right? What can we do in this next 10 minutes? How can we closer to that goal, whatever that goal is? Maybe it's finishing an assignment. Maybe it's rallying up, finishing a task specifically that's hard to do. Maybe it's working with other people that make you feel a way. What can we do in the next 10 minutes that would go toward that goal? And those baby steps is what eventually gives us the courage and the stamina to keep going and finish the race.
So much. That was such a good example, right? Because I mean, sometimes it's like we get under so much pressure, maybe because we're looking at what our peers are doing, we're looking at what other people are doing. Say, for instance, I'm a mother, this person's a mother, but they're killing it, and I'm feeling like, why can't I be that? And then sometimes we try to downplay our own efforts, and we try to downplay our own grace, our own, a strength to sustain ourselves to a certain level, knowing that, okay, it's okay to go back and get refill and come back in, right? Because
Yeah,
if you go just too long, you burn out, you wear out, and then you don't have the energy to go more.
that's
And
right.
I like to look at it this way, to say, okay, if I want to jump to touch my ceiling, I cannot stand and jump. So naturally in life, you're not supposed to always be high up.
Yes.
You appreciate the low moments because that takes you higher. If I bend to jump, there's a likelihood that I'll touch my ceiling. But if
Hmm.
I stand and stretch my hand, depending on my height, I may or may not touch my ceiling. And that's only because of my height. It's either the advantage of my height or the disadvantage of my height. But if a tall person stands to try to make the attempt to touch the ceiling, and then a short person in height jumps from down up to touch the ceiling, there's a high possibility of that short person to touch the ceiling because they went low to jump versus the person who was standing and tried to jump while standing.
Yeah, I love that. And can I answer your question like you answered earlier, like
Yes,
why can't I be like them? And the real answer to that is you're not. You're not supposed to be like them. You're supposed to be like you. And that is the
exactly.
difference between, yeah, that's the difference between you and them if you want to look at it that way, or her or him or whomever. It really is a matter of, you are your distinct person. You bring your own distinct qualities into your spaces, into your realm. That's what makes your realm so special. And a lot of people forget that. They feel like they need to somehow be a mold and they need to fit a certain type of
Hmm.
weight, a certain type of
Hmm.
category. And truly, the answer is just be yourself. The more authentic you can be, the more special people will recognize your own talents, your own features, and the amazing things that you want to do.
Definitely. The other day I was talking to someone, I'm like, you are the sauce. All right. There may be other ingredients, but you're the actual thing.
Yes.
The other add-ons to add some flavor here, you add some pepper here, you add some lemon here, you add some sugar or salt or whatever, but you're the actual thing, you're the actual sauce. So, and the thing is, because we're all different and we're all unique in our own space, there's this famous dish known amongst African, especially West African, as jollof rice.
Yes.
The way a Liberian will cook their jollof rice is jollof rice, but it's different from the way a Ghanaian will cook it. It's different from the way a Nigerian will cook it. It's different from the way, I think it came from Sierra Leone or Senegal. I think that's
Hmm.
it should be originally their food. It's different from the way they will cook it and the way Sierra Leoneans will cook it, but it's still jollof rice. The main
Right.
thing is still rice, and then just a little add on here and there, and then somebody's go deep in their memory and try to bring back their grandma's recipe to life, and their food is tasty, but
Yes.
it's love rice. And that's how we all are in our story because we are the original sauce.
Yes.
But it just, as life hands us different people, different experiences, it kind of add flavors here. Sometimes it's a little salty, but then sometimes you get some little sugar. Sometimes you get some little spice over here. And then before you know, the end goal is make a very delicious homemade meal. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, whether it's a little salty or it's a little too sweet or it's a little too sour, that was a homemade meal.
Right. Right.
And you arrived at that destination of being a homemade meal. And I think we, in our effort to motivate ourselves, like you said, we should focus on the end goal. Sometimes it may change. And sometimes I like to say, like, for instance, say I want to leave from Africa to come to America, right? Recently, I think that was some part of last year, some people drove from Ghana to London and London back to Ghana.
Mm.
Yeah, someone had come from Europe to Nigeria as well, and there was another lady who came from, I think, the Netherlands or something, all the way to Nigeria on a bike.
Wow.
When the other group did, they rode a car. So sometimes the bike, the car, the plane, they're all like different goals. But what's the destination? We want to get to this country. We want to get
Mhm.
to this particular country to say, okay, my challenge has ended, or my game has ended, or whatever. It doesn't matter whether you took a plane, it doesn't matter whether you walk a little bit, or you took a bicycle, or you took a power bike, or a sports car, or a Range Rover, whatever. The end is you're gonna get there.
Right.
And sometimes what could help us to stay motivated when we're under such pressure is, as you're traveling, your car do not need to break down before you take a break.
Right.
You take a break and relax and chill. The other day I was talking about rest is part of being productive. So sometimes when the pressure is
Yes.
just too much, my friend likes to call it staying calm in the confusion. I just relax. I have piles of things to do. The word is burning somewhere, and I'm somewhere just drinking lemonade and eating popcorns.
I like that.
And once I'm back up, because the thing is, they'll say the man who's down fears no fall, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you don't need to be down to be scared of a fall.
Right.
Sometimes you need to be intentional and say, you know what? There's a point where I rest. I was talking to someone. I'm like, when you're giving a client a project timeline, make sure to include rest in that timeline. If it's going to
Yes.
take you 7 working days, tell them it's going to take you like 10 working days. At least be upfront, be very genuine with them, because you could take a day off, you could take some minutes off. You don't want your team working on the project and then they break down.
Right.
Because if there's just too much pressure, what's going to happen? The work is not going to be perfect as you envision it to be, because somebody, they were too sleepy to cross a T or dot an I, or they were too sleepy to do the quality checks. And then you send it to the client because you told them you're going to deliver on day 5 or
Right.
day whatever. You did not
Exactly.
consider putting in. And sometimes I think it's a great way to minimize pressure if we're just realistic to say, these people are not AI, they're human beings, they have families, they have their own lives ahead of them. Like, we're on the call, and then my baby's turning here and he's turning there, and then I have to manage that in between. So just imagine if it was your team members. You want to keep their motivation up. You don't want to make them feel like a wreck to say, oh, everybody project is going forward and I'm the only one making the team to lag behind.
True.
Meanwhile, it's just natural thing for a mother to be a mother, right?
Mhm.
And I think those are some of the ways we can stay motivated under pressure, to consider some of the natural things that can happen and be able to just adjust our focus to say, okay, XYZ, this is what we do.
Right. Totally
So
get it. And I love that adjustment focus because that also is a motivator, right? Toward our goals. And we think about the things that, yes, we want to be a six-figure business. Yes, we want to support our teammates and things along those lines. But that bigger goal of I want to be that example that you can take something and take nothing and make something from it. The bigger examples, the bigger pictures, those are the things that are true motivators, I feel like, in a lot of ways. And I really appreciate you bringing that up, that we can still be in this space and create amazing experiences and live life authentically and not have to apologize for it. A lot of us as women, when we talk about being moms, our kids are, everywhere, or they're not, or they're right next to us, or they're not. Sometimes, again, the avenues of life, we should never feel apologetic or feel in a way, or feel a way, period, about being able to raise life in the world. That's one of the biggest honors that I feel like anyone can truly have. And so when we step into these spaces, we're bringing not only our tech minds, we're not only bringing our creative stamina, we're bringing the attitude of a mother, of a parent. We're bringing our femme experiences, all of our femme experiences into these spaces. And so that's what makes, I guess, being a woman in tech so unique is we're coming from this technical background, but we also have this huge part of our humanity that is very nurturing and is emotionally intelligent. And being a mom, I think, adds to that experience of being a woman in tech as well.
And just like you said, right? I mean, it's our everyday life. Like today, I was talking to my other guests. Like all the guests I interviewed today, like my baby was like, "I'm gonna be in your business, and you're gonna have to be happy with that."
That's
And then
right.
I was like, "You know what? I'm so sorry, he's not usually up." And she was like, "Girl, you're fine. We're talking about women today, and these are all the natural things that happens behind the scenes for us
That's
as
right.
women because we cannot rule that out of our lives, right?
Right.
I mean, we say we want to build a better, we want to build our empire. What's an empire when you alone are going to be there? There's no difference from that empire in a one bedroom studio.
That's right.
So
Hey, we wear
all
it as a
these
badge of honor. That's right.
exactly. So there are all these things that come into play to say, okay, this person is being in their natural, authentic self, and then they can also be fully functional in this area. And at the same time, the same way we would advise say, give yourself some grace. I think companies and businesses now need to give their staff some grace to
Mhm.
say, okay, what was it like when I was starting out? Companies just didn't wake up to start being Fortune 500 companies or Fortune 100 companies and stuff like that.
Right.
It started from somewhere. Even the ones we know, Zuckerberg and his friends started in their dorm, right? Right on their
Right.
bed or something like that. Like, they didn't just have Facebook massive office or Facebook headquarters. It didn't just happen that way.
Right.
Imagine if it was women setting up that company, life would have gotten in a way. They would have gotten married, they would have been in a relationship, they would have had babies and different things based on their decisions, and life, they will still work towards building the empire that they have in mind, right? So there's some things we cannot just rule out of the picture, and it all contributes to us staying motivated.
Yes.
And for you, I want to say, and maybe this not, I'm sure it helps to stay motivated, so I'm gonna go there. um you being a gamer,
Mhm.
how does because I mean, like when I saw that, I'm like, this must be a cool mom. Like you, and the way boys hold games in such high esteem, and knowing that my mom learned to play games because of me, like that's just next level kind of special. They'll probably grow up and expect their partners to learn how to, like, if my mom could do it, you can do it, sis. Why won't you do it? That kind of, right? So like, how does that, I know it helps you connect with your babies, but how does that impact you yourself as well?
I believe that there is a lot of play in strategy. And so that has given me a lot of personal conviction, inspiration, and fueled my passions even further to create spaces where we're constantly using strategy for play. So, what better place to start than playing with games? Gamification is one of the leading ways that corporations, businesses, individuals, and freelancers are starting to learn. They're better understanding about how to work with team players. They're better learning how to navigate in spaces that are unknown to them by asking more inquisitive questions through gamification. And so, gamified learning is a huge way and a huge component that Octane is built on. We love being able to help encourage our clients. We love being able to not only infuse our personal inflections of gamification through all things Sailor Moon and Sonic and Mario and all the things, but we love being able to use gamification as a way to level up someone else's business. And so that's how I've been able to use gaming as a way to help improve the educational resources in and around our spaces.
And I really like the way you spoke to that because I remember my first time coming to America to work for an organization here. They had like a ping pong table in the office, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, y'all that cool this way, you know? And compared to where I was working in Africa, I mean, just on a general African note, like we don't have games in offices like where you can be intentional if it's not lunch break. Just
Right.
step away from your office. yo, who's tired? Who's stressed out? Who wants to release some stress with me? Like, come, let's hang out and chill right here during office hours and not lunch
Mhm.
hours. That's what I'm trying to stress, right? And
Yes.
like that was one of the coolest thing I've seen. And I'm like, no wonder people say travel and see.
Hmm.
And on the
Yes.
other hand, like at home, when you try to get away from your laptop and like try to play some game on your phone or something, and then be like, well, you're using office hours to do something else. Well, how about you seeing it in a way that this person is trying to get their mind in a better place to be able to fix the problem they're working on? Or
Yes.
still, if you think they're doing something else on the phone, bring in a physical game and encourage gamification in the office, that you don't need to wait for 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock p.m. to go for lunch before you step away from your decks. You could literally go play tennis or Ludo or whatever, something that would just get you off of your screen so
Yes.
you can be able to get back, because I think we learn from playing,
Yes.
right? When we play
Absolutely.
different things, we know. But sometimes we wait for strategy sessions or staff getaway, and then we bring all these fun games. What happened to bringing those fun times in the office to know that, okay, the way and what I've noticed so far when I was working in a corporate setting, right? Every time we go for a staff engagement out of the office where games and stuff is included, something that would take us in office to like would take a week to work on a particular project or planning or do whatever,
Mhm.
like we just, if we're at that place for the weekend, we just get that done during the weekend,
Right.
right? Because everybody's like, you're probably sitting by the beach, your leg is in the water, your laptop is on your lap, and you're cooling off and working, and it doesn't feel like work,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
I think we need to bring that to help get people to stay motivated. So that way, even if your day is not going bad, if your day is not going good, or you're having a challenge, maybe you work on something and you're trying to product, because I was working as a product specialist. So we'll build the product, we'll try to test the product. Sometimes you're testing the product and the product is not testing. And
Right.
it's like it just gets so stressful. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill because my head needs some breathing space. I'm
Hmm.
testing this thing, and sometimes, and the thing is, when you're stressed and you're testing a product, you won't pick up certain errors because you're just like, okay, check, check, check. I just want to get rid of this thing. But
Right.
if you're so relaxed, like if you're walking to the office, you bring that great energy from home, and then you're just starting the day, you will naturally just pick up some things and say, okay, this is not supposed to be here. I know it worked this way. Did we try this other way to see if there'll be any adverse experience and stuff like that? You try to find ways around it to be able to get that thing to work 100%. But if you're stressed, you're just so focused on checking things off your list, knowing that, okay, I told my boss I was going to finish this project today, and that's what I want to do. And then before you know, Monday morning he comes back and said, "Oh, we did X, Y, Z, and over the weekend that did not work." Well, you did not allow me to have a break on Friday, right?
Right.
So,
Exactly.
so I think we need to be human to incorporate some of these things in our work environment, so it helps members of our team and even ourselves stay motivated throughout, not just through the project or through the week, but we should be intentional about through the day. How do
Yes.
you stay motivated under pressure? Because some days are wreck and some days are great. So, irrespective of whatever it is, how do you stay motivated when you have thousand things building onto you and different things like that? And for
Communication, like I completely like to answer that question, communication is where it's at. If I'm communicating to someone to let them know like this is where I'm struggling, this is my my focal point today and I just can't reach that, or in general I'm having trouble getting XYZ done. Could you help with, something else? Being able to delegate and communicate your concerns or needs is a huge, I feel like, way that we can instantly start to kind of feel a little bit of relief when it comes to those hills and valleys on those days where we're having ebbs and flows. I personally love being able to collaborate through elements like Asana and Slack, where it's easy for me to kind of veer off in a situation really quick. There are plenty of times where I do associate with some of my colleagues and I send them a GIF or a GIF. If it's a mad one or a happy one, they kind of see where I'm at in the current moment. There's been a couple times where we've been mid call with clients and I'm sending them like this happy GIF or a sad GIF because I don't know what's going to happen by the end of this meeting. But just being able to communicate, authentically communicate. We are humans. At the end of the day, we're not robots. We're created much differently. And so, because of that emotional intelligence that we as women have, more so than our male counterparts, a lot of times we need to find a way to get that outlet across so that we can stay on the task at hand. And so, one way that I do that is constantly communicating, being able to communicate with my team, being able to communicate with loved ones during the day, maybe just having an access or an outlet where I can quickly put thoughts and things in a place. I also keep a digital journal. I don't know if anyone else journals, but journaling is a huge component to my personal mental health. So a lot of times I will keep a digital journal and list some of the goals or maybe the accolades that I've been able to achieve in a certain amount of time. And a lot of people refer to this sometimes as a brag book, if you will. So in those moments where you feel super low or that the day has gone all the way down, everything's burning, you want to go back to this brag book and look at the things that you have been able to accomplish. And they should not be something relatively high. You don't have to win an Emmy Award. You don't have to win $1 million today. It needs to be something very simple. I was able to get through the day, or get through lunch without having to put out a fire. I was able to achieve XYZ very easily today. Or maybe it's just something simple, like I was able to go outside for 30 minutes today. I drank a full 8 ounces of water. You should be drinking way more than that, but I drank a full 8 ounces of water today. Huzzah for me. All the little things add up. And when we start adding those up, the tax is self assurance. It's that self esteem. It's being able to feel a little bit more extra pep in our step when we're taking on bigger mountains and lower valleys.
And it's just right on the dot what you said, right? Like yesterday I wanted to feel a little down to say, okay, I did not make it to go live and stuff like that. And I'm like, girl, you had 3 solid interviews back to back. You had
Right.
3 solid interviews. And then in between I was having some issues with StreamYard. So then I did go live, but just through my Facebook pages because I was trying to troubleshoot what the issue I had the previous night. And then I'm like, technically I actually did one live. Like I did one live for 16 minutes and I was trying to troubleshoot. And the funniest thing yesterday was I had my baby cartoon playing in the background. It was playing ABCD, and this ABCD has the affirmation part to it, like amazing, be bold and beautiful.
Yes.
And I was doing this live, and my younger sister was like, what is going on? I like the background music. And I'm like, well, I should not beat myself up because I did go live yesterday, right? And
Yes.
I got a few people to react to that. No, that's a testimonial. That's a proof that, girl, you were tired last night, but you did go live. And sometimes you don't have to just go and motivate people. And I was like, guys, I'm not saying nothing today. I'm just troubleshooting and trying to make sure, my platform is fixed because yesterday did not work so well. So I'm just chilling with my baby and then trying to troubleshoot. And then before you know, a few people started coming on to watch what I was doing. And I was just cruising to that cartoon, y'all. Like I was just there and I was like, what was I doing? But again, thankfully I did that yesterday because when I put my baby to bed last night and I could not go live as I always promised. Then this morning I'm like, I actually did go live yesterday on Facebook. Because
There
most
you
of the time I
go.
have issues. I'm like, okay, even if it's just one platform I'll go live on one platform. And yesterday was one of those days. I just went live on my pages I went live on 2 pages, in fact. 2 pages on Facebook. But I was out there yesterday. So I'm like, I should not beat myself up so much because I did 3 solid interviews. I went live to do my troubleshooting with StreamYard and try to fix the issue I was having. I woke up this morning and started learning how to edit my podcast and stuff with a friend. I had a meeting scheduled with a friend. And I'm like, I did it.
That's right.
I did.
That's right. It's
Like
always
I got feedback from a client. I'm like, I did a whole lot, and I was successful. And because sometimes, like you said, it doesn't have to be an Emmy award. Sometimes it's just drinking water. Sometimes it's just you taking a walk. Sometimes it's just you saying, like I was talking the other day. I'm like, if you're on a weight loss journey and you do not make it to the gym today. The fact that you ate healthy, you drank water, that's
yes.
still contributing to your end goal, which is a weight loss journey. You don't have to
Yes.
show up in the evening to say, "Oh, I need to check this off my list." No, 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 no. You need to be calm sometimes, and then sometimes that just helps you to level off the pressure that's on you. And I think it keep things in order and help you stay calm and anxious, right?
Absolutely.
I really enjoy this conversation. I could go on and on and on. Like I've literally taken half of your day. Thank you so much, Danielle, for taking time to chat with me. I really do appreciate you guys. if you are looking to help your life, me, I'm gonna learn. I need you to tell yourself you're gonna out there to learn as well. This lady is super amazing. Definitely connect with her, learn more about her through her website. You can find her at danielle.com. Definitely connect with her, see what she's doing. Like, disclaimer, her vibe across her website gives off superhero vibes. So just you, so you know, see her looking calm on this video, you might get across the website and be like, is this the same lady that I saw on the video? Yeah, she's the same lady, but that just her website vibe is giving off superhero vibes. And I am so honored that you took time to educate my space and impact us and share your knowledge. And I am coming to learn from you. 14 years in a business is no mean feat there. Like, it's
Thank
not.
you.
And of course, running it with a virtual team, like, I'd say unashamedly, you are where I want to get to. Per.
Yes, that's the thing. I love it.
You
Inspiration.
are somewhere that I want to get to. So I'm definitely, like I said, I was gonna be sitting at your feet and learning. So I am coming, definitely gonna sit at your feet and learn, because you are in a position where I'm trying to get to. And I'm not ashamed to say, okay, I want to learn from you, or I want to connect with you and help. And thank God, thankfully, you said you're looking to help other people build their empire. So I'm bringing my mortar and my shovel and my bricks and my bucket, definitely, so I can put out some stuff.
Well, you
But
might
thank
need a controller.
you.
You might
And I
need
have
a
my
controller. We can get
co-host.
you one.
I have my co-host who's gonna be coming with his pampers and his wipes, to help us do some stuff and take some breaks in between. But thank you so much, Miss Danielle, for taking your time to talk to me. I am super honored to have you take time out of your very busy day to educate my community, educate myself, and just pour into me and pour into this space. I am so honored, and I really appreciate your time. Guys,
I
until
love
the
it.
next episode, I'll see you. Follow Miss Danielle on her platform and definitely learn from her. If you're a parent, if you're a mom, especially a boy mom, yeah, okay, I got my boy in the back, so you already know where I'm at. So I'm definitely reaching out to her. So you should do the same. Thank you so much, ma'am. I really appreciate you.
Thanks.